And our goal really is as a village partners, to be encouraging, to understand what they're building, and be supportive if that's something that we align with on that strategy. And what's great is with Patrick here, he's going to be able to share more about his thinking, his approach as he finds his own ethos on behalf of, the world's largest, but also in regard to how he could take this feedback from each and every one of you in this ecosystem. I think that's actually the beauty of what Tribe is doing and what we're consistently trying to be better at. We want to make sure that there's more communication. It's not just, hey, let me hype up Patrick and tell you that he's going to build the dopest shit in the world. Like, I'm going to still do that. But what I'm going to do it is I'm going to help him do it with his own words and have you guys participate and hear from him, and then allow you guys to build your own views on whether or not it's a project and an opportunity for you. This is exactly how I believe real educators should operate in this market. We're not here to influence you. We're here to give you the frameworks, the opportunities, and the perspectives to be able to find the stuff that matters most. And the best part is we get to do it directly here in our Discord, which I massively love. So shout out to everyone here. Let me do a quick thing and bring up our boy, Patrick. Patrick, if you want to request. Oh, there you are. Hold on. Yes, I see you. I'll bring you up. Oh, there we go. What is up, Patrick? How you doing?
Yo, doing well. Been a busy morning, getting everything ready, but it's awesome to see the energy in the chat, all the people here. So I'm ready to go. Countdown 30 minutes. Let's
Yeah, I
do it.
love it, man. I love that you're crazy enough to show up in our chat 30 minutes before you go live. You did this on the last event as well, too. I know this is the craziest time for a builder as well, because no matter what, regardless of even if it's an early experience or the core experience, it's still a ship and a launch day, man. And that shit gets crazy. And it's also, you got little butterflies. How you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good. There's definitely the butterflies. I would say, fortunately, it's not my first mint experience. Did a bunch of them during the bull market when I was at Mirrored. And so, yeah, and thankfully, I'm working with a smart contract engineer I worked with there. And so we have a rapport. We got on a call early this morning, deployed it, tested some things out, made sure OpenSea was looking good. And so, yeah, we've done it before, but you never know. There's always the unknown. But we've definitely done everything we could to cover our bases. And yeah, and all of that. And so we're feeling really good about it, actually.
I love it, man. So give us, for those of you, for those of us who might be hearing about you for the first time, can you give us just a quick overview of what TWL is, and then from there we can then go into your ethos of what's launching today and what's leading to that, and how does that build up to the core product. But let's start with, what's TWL? What are you guys aiming to do, just to set the stage for everyone here?
Yeah, totally. And so at TWL, our goal is to build like these viral on-chain experiences. And we do that with a combination of content and our storytelling, but then also with these fun little drops and mini games that we're going to be releasing. And so basically last few weeks we did our first like teaser drop. That was about 2 weeks ago. I can share our Twitter here if you want to check that out. And so we actually, when I hopped on the call, the tribe call last time, 2 weeks ago, there was probably like 50 followers on the account. It was like diamonds, a few friends, and then yeah, then introduced it to the tribe community. And basically within 24 hours had a few thousand followers. Now we're up to almost 8,000 and got a ton of impressions, engagement, all of that. And that was without buying any bots. And so people seem to like really resonate with, really it was the website, some of the kind of like the visual effects. We had a 3D animation in there, and it was this fun, crazy little video, and then also like this Star Wars style like animation with some fun text about our manifesto, and that was a lot of fun just releasing that. And so it really got a lot of people interested, and really what we're trying to do is we're building up to our Genesis Mint, which is going to be free, limited supply, less than 1,000, and we're also venture backed, and so we're able to focus on adding value to the community and not necessarily needing to extract in the short term, medium term, or even long term. Hopefully we're not extracting, and it's an exchange of value. And so yeah, our goal right now is leading up to that Genesis Mint is to curate that initial set of holders through these drops, through these experiences, through our content. We'll be launching an on-chain rewards program to track points. And that's really what brings us here today, where we're going to be launching our trailer just so people can get a sense, again, of our storytelling, some of the characters, the world that we're building, how we think about things. But then also B, kind of use this as like the first way to show proof of participation that you were early. And so by minting, and it's going to be a 24-hour open edition, It'll be released in about 25 minutes now at 1 Eastern. And yeah, anybody that mints gets the same number of points, whether you mint one, whether you mint 10, whether you mint 100. And so really just like mint one and you're fine in terms of like the TWO ecosystem. But if you want to mint more, we have a fun little mechanic just as a collector's item, an art piece, etc. You can definitely do that as well. And so it's up to you, but we didn't want to make it this early on all about just aping in and speculating on some like future points or whitelist airdrop. And we wanted this more to be around the content, the experience, and making everybody feel like yeah, they're a part of it and they were treated fairly. So that's kind of how we're thinking about things.
Yeah, I love it, man. And I think like the great thing that we were talking about a little bit earlier is just like what's so valuable of the world's largest Twitter account. If I were you guys, I would definitely check this out for two reasons. One is you're actually seeing a real organic launch in Web3 right now. We are not juicing these numbers. These are not fake numbers. This is real engagement. You're getting to see how a product is actually getting reach in this market. And there's a lot of influential people talking about TWL. They got great followers, like, Frank the Gods and a handful of their tier one founders are already following the account. And that's the great thing is that this is actually what true awareness looks like in this market in just a short amount of time. And that's a good litmus test because, again, you're going to see a lot of people manipulate numbers in this market. You're going to see a lot of people kind of change their way of trying to make it bigger than they actually are. And I think in this case, we have one of the best examples of what an organic launch looks like and what those numbers right now look like as well. And of course, there's going to be ways to amplify this more in the future. But this is what I really love about this is that these are what actual numbers look like about Web3 at the moment right now. Almost everything else I've seen massively juiced. And remember, TWL has not done any pre-mints, has not done any alpha bot kind of stuff too, which is also another way to juice your numbers too. So you have to understand, like, you want to remove almost all those variables initially. And this is what's so great is that this should be an authentic core user base to start. Of course, you could amplify with fuel later, but I just want to commend that process from TWL and just seeing what this will lead to in these kind of early mint experiences. So, Patrick, I think what's been really interesting is that it looks like you're kind of building up to your kind of Genesis mint. You've already hinted that there's a sub 1,000 supply Genesis mint in the future. Walk us through like what led you to think through this kind of design strategy of kind of building smaller experiences at near zero cost in order to build up to something a little bit larger, and how did those pieces all work?
Totally. Yeah, and so in terms of this, there's a few different inspirations. One was actually the tribe ecosystem, and I've been following Saint for a while, listening in on a bunch of these AMAs, listening on Twitter back in the day when they were doing the Sash and Saint like sessions on Twitter Spaces. Those were great and learned a ton, and really that changed my mentality around like you want to be building these long-term relationships. You want to be curating your allow lists. You want to be curating the initial community. Whereas before, like we think about it, like you're in the bull market, it's like you basically just do an open sale. Whoever was there, first come, first serve. Whoever had the money, they got it. And that's basically it. And then the community formed around that through traits and other reasons and WAGME, all the number go up. But now in a bear market, is basically now it's about the real like relationships and the people and the vibe and people that actually believe in the philosophy. And so we think that it takes time to build those relationships. We think it takes time to build an emotional connection to the brand and to really want to hold and be a loyal member of the community. And so that's really like high at the highest level how we're thinking about like this type of mint process where we take a bit of time up front, we curate the initial holder set, and then more tactically on like the structure of how we design the drops. We have a lot of inspiration from this product studio. It's called Mischief, and they built a lot of these viral products. Like for example, they work with Mr. Beast on this app called Finger on the App. We have to put your finger on the app and you can win $100,000. And they did like a Satan shoe with Lil Nas X and all these crazy like big red boots. And so, but what their model is, every 2 weeks they released a new product drop. And they just do these outrageous, controversial things that always seem to go viral. News publications follow it. A lot of big celebrities, influencers follow it. And I was thinking about taking that approach and kind of doing things controversial. Someone mentioned in the chat earlier, this punk aesthetic, and that's definitely a huge inspiration. And so just focusing on from our content, from the world we're building, the stories we're telling, to the actual drop experiences. We want to create these fun, like organically viral events to really drive awareness towards the brand, get people interested, and ultimately that leads to value for the core NFT holders because there's more demand, like organic demand, to be part of this like really fun, cool, like modern, and also like Web3 native product and brand. And so that's from a few different angles. That's how we're thinking about it.
Awesome. And as you kind of build up towards this, I think this has been a huge part of the thesis that I love at Tribe as well. The biggest thing has been, you know, you don't need the core speculative asset to start. You want to actually usually utilize that still early in the process, but build up towards that. And that's kind of what I see with your approach here. And you've hinted that, you're going to be able to accumulate points, and there will then these points will kind of be a weighted value of potentially getting other prizes down the line, including potentially Genesis access. I think in the end, what I'm kind of curious on is, what do you want TWL to represent in the long run? I think Mischief's a really great comp model. What they kind of are is kind of the most like viral pop-up shop, right? In a weird way, is kind of what they've built in the Web 2 era. How do you think that could work in the Web 3 era? What are the other bells or whistles or shifts in the strategy that you'd like to present as well to users leveraging blockchain tech?
Yeah, totally. And so, yeah, one thing that Mischief didn't do very well is like intentionally like build their community in the sense that it was more so it happened emergently. They would launch these drops and then a community would form around them and they would talk on Reddit or some other forums. But there wasn't like a community manager for Mischief. Kind of part of their whole aesthetic was, hey, we just launch cool things and people like it and then we move on to the next thing. And it's not cool to talk to consumers and build a community and all of that. And our approach is that yeah, at the heart of Web3 is it's not necessarily just about smart contracts and NFT technology. It's also about how you go around building a brand. And it's about co-creating, it's about participation, and yeah, it's about really figuring out a new way to build brands together. And so for us, that's really at the core of what we're building. And the way we're looking at it, like Say and I, we've talked a bit about like the future of like social networks being these like niche interest-based communities and not these large content networks like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. They're not really social. You're not like meeting new people, talking to them. Maybe you go in the comments or you send DMs to your friends, but 95% of your time you're just like consuming content. So it's more a replacement for television and not a replacement for meeting friends and talking to friends and building deep, meaningful relationships. And so really we're kind of like putting out a bat signal of the type of person we want to attract through the content, through our aesthetic, through the vibe, and also through these fun mini games and drops where people can basically like level up, earn points, unlock different rewards and access throughout the ecosystem. And then ultimately what I see this becoming is this new type of like interest-based community, this type of social network, which I think most of these NFT projects are that's really gonna be the focus like longer term is yeah, how do we have this community that has these certain interests that they're aligned with. They have a place online that can come together, talk, meet other people, and they have these other experiences as well, whether it's IRL, whether it's online, digital games, there's content, etc. And you're able to consume it together, talk about it, meet new people, and that's really where we see us going, medium to long term.
Yeah, I love that, man. And I kind of love that approach and that thinking. I think there's just such cool ways to rebuild the relationship between Brandon and not just user, but brand and fan, right? Or brand and loyalty, whatever that dichotomy of the language you'd want to use. And I think that's actually where Web3 becomes that structural differentiation. Like, I love the fact that we have, thousands of users in our community that are aligned with a lot of what we're building prior to the release of what has been built. And because of that, it's this super fan concept to a certain extent that also leads to potentially mutual alignment of incentives too, or mutual access to unique opportunities that kind of unlock along the way. And I think, the more that kind of loyalty and that holistic understanding you have about curating that community, the more likely you are going to be finding product market fit with existing and or future launches, which I think is such a fascinating concept, especially as we kind of see this kind of vertical social network kind of design that is already coming out of Web3, putting us in almost these kind of sub guilds of sort. How do we now leverage that, enhance that, or connect them? It's kind of going to be one of the next evolutions, especially here in 2024. So, Patrick, you're about 14 minutes away from mid. I'm curious, what else do you want to talk through? What else do you think is important for this audience to know more about what this experience is, maybe, and sharing, why you're leading out with this? Just kind of curious on how does this set that, fan relationship building experience, and why is it this content that's coming?
Totally. No, that's a great question. And hit a one to your point around like changing the relationship between brand and like in the past it was more like brand consumer, brand customer. Now it's participant, co-creator, member, etc. And yeah, it's not those are like terms and people use it for marketing, but for us, like what that means is like for example, what if like when you first use YouTube or take your favorite game or app, TikTok, whatever, and whenever they launched, they had a video to commemorate the launch and you could collect that. And that became this digital collectible. You have it. Who knows in the future how it's used? You don't necessarily buy it because you think number go up, but it's like this cool thing to prove, hey, I minted it. You can see on chain. And yeah, I was there early. I knew about this project. And say 5 years from now, it becomes TikTok or becomes say Fortnite, League of Legends, etc., or even like with creators, Mr. Beast. And I think that's a cool thing about it, where it's not just, hey, I bought this thing and I 10x'd it and etc. Got a Lambo. It's more of, hey, I was here early. I'm a true fan. I've been here for a while, and that's kind of like the philosophy we want and what we mean by like co-ownership, co-creation, all of that. And today, basically, we're going to be launching our trailer video, and so it's this 90-second video, has some fun NFT references, tells a bit of the story and lore behind TWL, as well as our main character Rex, who's like this punk guy with spiky hair. He has like chains and funny tattoos and all that and piercings. And yeah, it's really just showing that story, telling that story in a new way. And hopefully like another big thing is we feel like most Web3 projects aren't like culturally relevant. Like a lot of it is just like animal generative PFPs, but we think that the next great IP or any great IP historically, it's all about storytelling. It's about the character development. It's about the lore behind it. It's about these deep emotional connections that you build with the audience. It's also about like multiple touch points across channels. Maybe it's a video, maybe it's like a physical product, maybe it's a comic, maybe it's clothes, etc. And so, yeah, we think these next generation of Web3 brands are going to really need to lean in on storytelling, on animation, on videos, and also like multiple touch points to engage with their audience. And so our first version, our like MVP version of that is this trailer video and then this mint experience as well. And yeah, I can stop there and then get into a bit of the mint experience in a second. But that's at least how we're thinking about this first launch and why we think it's important for the participants in our Web3 ethos.
Yeah, and no, I think that's great, and I think it'd just be great to continue a little bit further down into this mint experience funnel. I know we were talking a little bit about this design too, and I think there's just a lot of fun creativity with it, but also it's like a personalized like proof of attendance, right? This proof of being here in that manner where it's custom, which I think is actually also a very interesting element. Just curiously, yeah, how did that lead, and how does that play out into this mint experience as well for users?
Totally. So yeah, one component is the trailer, the storytelling, the lore. The second component is the actual mint experience. And so there, we basically get to have a website. You can see the video. Someone mentioned in the chat if it's going to be enabled on mobile. It is. But I would say most mobile minting is quite flaky. And so for the best experience and also to watch the video in full screen, I'd go on desktop. And yeah, the trailer video will show, and then you can pause the video at any moment, and you'll see a frame, and you can mint the frame as an NFT. And so there's like, I think there's about 1,000 different frames, maybe more in this video, and so you'll be able to see. And because it is an open edition, there's no supply cap, but it's only open for 24 hours. So you want to make sure you mint, because then after that, supply is locked, can't mint anymore. And so you go in and you basically get to see, you get to look in detail at the video and see, okay, hey, I like this scene, or I like that scene towards the end, or in the middle here. I like this character's face. Oh, these NFT references I really like. And you can collect them. You can mint one, multiple, however many you feel makes sense. And yeah, and from there, you'll be able to also go to the OpenSea page and see all the other like crops or frames that people have minted as well. And so it'll be fun to see like, yeah, scroll through the page, see what was the most popular, and kind of collect the ones and that you think are are the most resonant with you or you think are cool, or maybe it's unique. And who knows, maybe over time, like we are viewing this as, hey, this is just proof of participation, proof of early support. But who knows, there's like emergent behaviors that can happen. Maybe there's like based off of like certain collecting. And also we, Say and I were geeking out on the actual mint mechanic and thinking about there's probably like 10 different ways to expand this in the future, this like core mechanic. And so it's cool that we're able to debut it here. And this is the first collection. And so, yeah, I would suggest like one thing we wanted for this is to create a real immersive experience where it's not just like every other like mint where it's okay, you go, it's a video, okay, maybe you don't even watch the video, you just mint it. All right, on to the next thing, going to Twitter. And here is more about, okay, want to take your, of course, some people do that and that's totally fine. But also for the ones that want to go a layer deeper, they're able to watch the video, they're able to see all the different like references and things we added in there and Easter eggs and collect them and look at it and have a deeper appreciation for the video and the content that we're creating. And then all of it, this whole experience is on chain, of course, with an NFT, the token that you'll have after minting. And that's what kind of like brings it all together into the combination of the creative storytelling, but then also like the on-chain experience to prove that you were here early at this point.
Love it, man. And I think this is kind of where if I'm a user and someone in this audience, right, it's understanding this new path to building a relationship with the brand prior to that, quote unquote speculative release, right? And that's the biggest thing that I think Patrick and team are really getting right. It's not blind FOMO per se that is going to be massively extractive. It's a linear relationship that scales over time. And in that relationship, you have ways to highlight your contribution, your support, and your alignment that is, both on chain and off chain, right? Depending on the metrics that you may be measuring here, and then it all kind of coalesces to seeing a brand being born in real time. And I think that's actually the other really special thing that we probably don't talk enough about, right? Is that I want to give a huge shout out to how you've already been positioning the brand. It does feel fresh. It has good punk vibes without it being like a clone of shitty crypto punks, which is what it almost always turns into in this sad space. But I love that you're actually building a unique note in this space, right? A very different direction in this kind of element here as well. So, because of this, right, you have this very powerful opportunity to unlock for all of us, right, a brand experience that does deviate from the norm. And as a collector, that's one of the biggest things I'd be looking for. I'm looking for projects that are looking to deviate from the norm and coalesce to more value to those who are true contributors or participators. I think those are actually going to be one of the best ways to value new products, new launches moving forward. Of course, TWL and Patrick still have a lot to showcase, a lot to prove, a lot to emphasize here. But at least from a strategic perspective, we hope that you could see kind of the interesting sequences that he's making that, delighted us at Tribe when we first talked to this project, but also, definitely has been an area where we've also been getting deep feedback from our diamond users on a lot of different elements as well too. So lots of cool things coming down in this funnel. Patrick, I know we're a few minutes away here as well as the initial launch opens for that 24 window. Curious if there's anything else that you think is important for this community to know or anything else that you think we should be directing them to in the meantime.
Yeah, I would say just in terms of the launch specifically, one thing that wasn't mentioned but super important is kind of like the reasoning for like minting here. Again, it's mainly is for proof of participation, and then also we'll be launching this on-chain rewards program where you'll earn points by being active in our ecosystem, and then also like just to be super clear, you get the same number of points whether you mint 1, 10, 100, however many, and so no need to ape in and yeah, just purchase more if you like the collectible value of it, if you like really like different frames and can't choose which ones you want to purchase. And yeah, and just I would say we spent yeah, we wanted to make sure that we give people an immersive experience you go through. And so if you have the time, whether it's now or later, even after the 24-hour mint window, to go through and just like see the different references and yeah, and to really like yeah have some time with it and really appreciate it if it resonates with you. And so yeah, that's what I would say. And then also just want to thank everyone for showing up, showing out. I feel like it was the best way to launch the teaser last week by coming on here, talking through it a bit, getting some feedback, just feeling the energy. And yeah, today I want to do the same thing and be able to give people an early access, share some thoughts. Of course, it also helps like getting people early to be able to share it and see it. But yeah, I view this as really a partnership, creative partnership, and it's not just hey, I'm going in here and shilling my stuff and just like want you guys to blindly follow into it. It's more so behind the scenes access, understanding of how I'm thinking about things, how what the overall strategy is, the framework, all of that, and maybe that gives you some more insight into yeah, just kind of like our values and whether that resonates with you. And so yeah, I look forward to continue doing this for future drops and in between drops if there's more time between them. And yeah, and always happy to answer questions. You're able to, in terms of next steps, yeah, we're basically 3 minutes away here. So we'll be able to, I want you guys to be the first ones to know about it. So I'll post it in 3 minutes. And then, yeah, website should be good to go. And yeah, we can basically like hop off and enjoy the day and enjoy the Mint experience. And yeah, we're definitely also really interested in just feedback, what people think about the experience. Was it cool? And so if you want to comment on the main TWL like chat, or not the chat, but the tweet that we shared, because we're going to share the video in the first tweet, and the second one we're going to share the link to the website. And so yeah, definitely check all of those and see that. And if you have any like specific feedback, questions, thoughts, etc., you can always DM me. My DMs are open, so let me know. And yeah, but I'm very excited. First Mint experience for TWL happening live. 2 minutes, baby. Let's go. I see the chat's getting me fired up.
I love it, man. And I think that's the real fun part about this. And like the cool thing for me is also as a user, even though Patrick is a village partner, I actually haven't even seen the trailer. I've only seen like very few small snippets. So this will be like a fun, like unique product experience for me as well. And I think that's really where I'm excited because I'm actually looking forward to something, right? A little bit of delight, kind of seeing where this is, getting a sense of the brand, right? Without it needing to feel like this is a deep extractive element. We're going to go into a really fun scenario here with kind of all these opportunities. And again, this is where Tribe is also going to be shifting some of these relationships. And Patrick, I know you're in the trenches. I think for everyone here in Tribe, I'll stay on here as Patrick probably will need to hop off and do real adult stuff here, but I'll stay here and share the tweets. I think the biggest thing here as well is that help contribute. If you're really excited about this, share this, contribute, provide it to your friends. That's always the best way you can help. When you actually have conviction in something, or if you're aligned with something. Again, don't need you to blindly do any of that. I'm hoping that as we build with Tribe, our biggest advantages is that we are collective curators. Right, Tribe's a curator of bringing quality projects here to each and every one of you. But additionally, what do we really want to do? We want to make sure you guys are curators too, and you can help set the standards for others and bring them great projects that you believe are of value to be shared with everyone else. So, Patrick, really appreciate the time, man. We're really excited for it. I know it's 10 a.m. right now, so we'll let you go. Unless you want to stay around. I don't know how you're working on this shit. It's always open to you. I'll stick around for 10 more minutes as we got to go through the launch together.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. Just posted it. Can post it in here too.
Yes,
But yeah,
do it. Strap the
let's
fuck
go.
in. Love
Yeah, I
it.
can stay on here for a minute. Yeah, I want to see the chat and yeah, and feel the vibes. This is definitely exciting, making it fun. So yeah, I'll stick around for a couple minutes here.
Awesome,
And thanks
man.
for
So
having me.
guys, he's dropped the trailer directly in Twitter, which is great. And then separately from that, I'm watching it with no audio right now. I'll listen to it with audio when I'm offline. Uh, I'm fucking. All I can say is that it's kind of what I expected and not expected all at the same time, which is fucking great. Patrick, I was curious, this was done by your internal designer, right? You have like a creative director kind of supporting on this front.
Exactly, exactly. So we have a small team, creative team. One is a creative director, one is more just generalist designer, and then another is a 3D animator. And so yeah, we need ETH, odd different chain. What happened here? Sepolia. Yeah, I can take a look. But yeah, basically we have a 3D animator, creative director, and designer.
Love it, man. It's so fun to be able to create like short form content of this as well. I think the biggest part about I think what Web3 really needs is better storytelling. We've kind of lost that in a lot of ways. Like we've had storytelling for just a few moments, but I don't think there's actually been any storytelling that that compounded into a meaningful brand. And I think you have a pretty unique opportunity to do that here as well, which I think is just fresh, right? And gives you a lot of insights on where this market can go. So I love it. So we could go to the website right now, from what I understand. Oh, yep, I got it. I got the whole strap the fuck in on the website as well. Dope. Oh, TWL. Hold on. Oh, okay. I can pause it. Oh, I'm going through the whole crop experience. Okay, I see it. Ooh, we got a Milady out there. We got a Pudgy out there. Ooh, I see. Well, okay. Let's say a penguin out there and an ape out there. Let's not call out the direct brands here, but I love it. So you got a little bit of fun here across the board. Wow, this is a really slick interface, man. On being able to mint, because you could actually go into not only just the whole page, but you could crop just a small section of it as well. It's really slick.
Thank you, thank you. Well, I'm glad I'm on this call because yeah, it looks like there was a small bug. It went to Sepolia, and so it'll be fixed in like a minute. So we'll be good.
No worries. That's the fun part. I mean, people always underestimate how hard it is to launch this shit and getting it right. So we'll make sure uh to get this going through. This is pretty sick. One sec. I'm actually having super fun. Dude, the scroll view on the bottom of all the frames is super clean. This is a really solid, like, core minimal experience. I really love it. And this creepy dude in the washing machine, um, it makes me feel uncomfortably great. Like this is like weirdly cool. Like you know what it reminds me of a lot is the bodies. If you've ever watched oh fuck, what's the HBO show with AI? Westworld. I don't know if you ever watched that, but that's what this reminds me of, like these body parts that are ready to kind of get lined up and be used and create like a human piece. It's pretty crazy.
Totally, totally.
Oh man.
Awesome.
So oh, sorry,
Good.
my audio is kind of going off on this front here as well. So guys, what you're seeing here now is that what you want to be figuring out is if this is your proof of your participation. What's really fun here is that you get to allow yourself to be a part of this product and choose what you want to be in your wallet. And that's kind of the fun part about this product experience, because that's the other twist that I think this market still hasn't figured out. We've really pushed this generative only approach where it's like you mint and you take it and you like it whatever you get. You just have to like it or you just dump it. I think what's really cool about this mint experience here is that you're able to customize your value and what you like in that art from that product experience, and there's more of an emotional attachment to that, and I think that's a really smart way of building good design. And alongside this, right, you can hopefully be able to be a part of these different product experiences that keep opening up. And this is just one of many. I mean, Patrick has a pretty interesting pipeline of what's coming next. And beyond that, I think this is going to be a really interesting story where if you're a part of a new viral brand launch, I think it'll be really exciting to be part of that history, to be like, I was there when this launched. I was there and I got this asset. I grabbed this one because it connected most with the brand for me or connected most in the video for me. And you're gonna see that kind of relationship as you weave how you connected with the brand, right? And I think that's actually really amazing, right? Is that if you actually understand your ability, I love that you guys are sharing your shots here. That's a great way of doing it as well, right? Getting your ability of sharing your kind of visuals here. Oh my God, that was a kill. And that's the creepiest one of them all with that other face behind it as well. I love it. And creepy all at the same time. This is kind of like the fun little thing here. But yeah, just be careful, guys. Right now, Gwei could be very high on these spikes, so you just want to make sure. It's right now getting updated to the other contract and chain real quick, so it's just getting a minute, and it'll be back onto mainnet ETH here as well. Oh, it's only 28 gas. That's actually pretty good at the moment right now. I think people are running that issue that it's probably still on Sepolia.
All right, now we're good.
Alright, there you go. So you guys should be able to do it on mainnet now. Let me go do it myself. Hold on. I have to intelligently connect wallets. Da, 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 da. Okay. Let's see if I could do it with this. Oh, what? Okay, I'm definitely going with this one. Oh, okay. I'm gonna crop this one. Let's see. I'm gonna play through this real quick. Connect wallet. I'm gonna go through the whole mint experience live here. I should probably share my screen, but I'm too lazy to. All right, let's see if this is all working. It's still asking me to switch the network. Let me reset the website again.
Yeah, if you refresh.
Yeah, just refresh. Let me go back to my creepy photo that I wanted. Come on. There it is. Okay. Okay, boom. Let me get this creepy. Almost looks like Mark Zuckerberg. Okay, connect wallet. MetaMask. Next, connect. Yep. Okay, we're on the right one.
Sweet.
Let me make sure I could go through the mint. This contact
Yeah,
was.
okay, someone found the Vitalik bulge meme.
Oh, they already found it. To beat us to it. Oh,
Yeah.
yep. Oh, dude, I actually really like this weird shock animation you have as well. Ooh. Man, this is really clean flows. That's the one thing I'll give you credit on. The fun thing here, this is the image, hold on, that I grabbed. I just did something really basic. I'll go find some cooler images as well. But I don't know, this just seemed like a Mark Zuckerberg sex doll is what I thought this looked like. So I was like, you know what? That's what I need to mint. Oh, hold on, sorry, the music is still.
Exactly.
Mhm. Hey, it's some good music you're playing, man. Okay, sorry. No, that's really cool. Yeah, it did look like a Mark Zuckerberg sex doll. That's why I thought it was perfect. I really hope that's what you was the inspiration here for this character. It's a Mark Zuckerberg sex doll. Oh man,
Yeah,
I'm really stoked for this, man. This is great, and I love your brand work across the board as well too. It just again, it does feel fresh. This looks almost like what I think an intro to a music video could feel like as well, which I think is really great. Wow, dude, it's a 2 minute trailer. Oh yeah, I love this the one bite corn. I really love this creepy washing machine pose, man. There's some the translucence of the skin of the light kind of coming through it. Oh, creepishly great. So yeah. Oh, can we mint music layer next time? Oh, that's actually pretty interesting. Maybe there's a dynamic way to choose which music you also want to tie to the NFT. That could kind of play background music with some like licensed songs or something. That's pretty interesting. I mean, I do think this feature that Patrick has is really cool. I was talking to him about this as well. So I'm playing out with other ideas because I think one of the reasons why it's really fun to work with a team that's actually done multiple mints before in the past is two things. One is like they understand like when you ship it's still like a process, right? So even solving small things of which channel it's on, what network's on, right? Getting that all in, like great, you could react and get it right relatively quickly. It happens, it's a part of web3. But the second reason I love it is that it's this complete experience, right? And that's kind of what I've been always impressed with TWL is every element has been really clean and complete in regard to the loop. Just a little bit of polish that goes the extra mile. And I think that's where you start seeing kind of a really cool way of this product experience kind of building up and scaling up as well. Right. So, what's kind of interesting is that, you're going to see some fun design, fun branding, fun storytelling, kind of all immersing from this. And as you kind of get connected to this brand, right, what you mint is also that relationship to that brand. And you've now formed a relationship. This is kind of like the fun thing. I mean, again, because we're tribe and village has been the village partnership with TWL has been here. You guys have been a much deeper relationship than most other communities. But this is also a really fun thing is for those of you who are outside of tribe, sorry, for those of your friends who are outside of tribe who may participate in this mint, just kind of keep your eye open, see how they're interacting with the brand, see how they're evaluating and taking feedback from it as well. Because now what you're going to see is that you're going to see different touch points, you're going to see different ways of how the brand connected to people. And there's actually rich data in this. This is actually one of the cooler things as well too is that if you're leveraging computer vision data or you're like taking if Patrick knows all the timestamps of all the screens that or frames that you were screenshotting, he could also have a good understanding of like where in the brand do you resonate the most with, right? Or where in the brand caused the most chaos or intrigue or spiky outlier conversations. And because of that, right, it gets you like a very interesting relationship between you and a brand asset to have that depth of data, right? And the reason I bring this up is like, usually, when I'm watching something for 2 or 3 minutes of a brand, there's always like a 15-second moment or 5-second moment where the brand just hit correctly. It just connected to what I wanted as a user. And if you do this correctly, I think this is kind of a really powerful thing, right? Is that you're going to have a dynamic story of how every user probably got connected in this brand, especially if TWL is able to hit their long-term goals of what this product can be. So we're gonna have a lot of fun with it. You can have a lot of fun with kind of cropping, finding your style, your design, and putting it in. And again, keep giving this live feedback. You're literally seeing a founder launching a product and is stupidly still on stage with us, right? I say stupidly because it's hilarious that he's willing to kind of multitask and be up here because again, everything in this space is so crazy in Web3. Patrick, how are you doing over there though? Just checking in. I know you're probably managing a lot of things on your front.
Yeah, yeah, I'm about to head out, but it's great seeing the feedback here, the comments, all the UGC people are sharing. No, it's great. I've seen people are sharing some of their Etherscan links. So I just went through the mint flow and made sure that it was the right crop, but there might be something with a few different ones, like specific ones. So I can take a look at that. So for anyone here that has questions, you want to just ping me on Discord DMs, and then we can move it in there. That's probably the best place. And then I'll check to make sure you're a tribe member and all of that.
Yeah, this guy's crazy. If he's letting you all DM him, but Patrick's crazy like that. So always feel free to give feedback in that way. Diamond, you have your channel to also share feedback as well. And then same thing as a community, right? The other thing we want to learn is, how do we keep giving an opportunity of growing this right and getting this story right and this is going to be a fun co-experiment we're going to learn and I'm learning from Patrick here as well. I'm excited for this kind of story flow. It's kind of that mysterious opening. If you remember how Lost Realm started with something is happening, it's kind of that type of funnel and flow but with better storytelling in terms of visual and video content. So I think it's going to be pretty interesting. If you did receive a different minted crop picture, let us know. Again, I mean, let Patrick know. That could be a small little issue. We can also identify ways to get that resolved. Again, a little fun way of trying to find all these little small peak things. We're going to make sure that you guys get all that information here as well. Well, guys, we could kind of wrap up here. I know we've been on stage for about 45 minutes as well. I want to be respectful for the time for Patrick. Patrick, thank you so much for opening up this brand. I'm really excited to see where this goes. If you have any other things that you need, let us know, Patrick. We're here to help as tribe. In the meantime, for all of our tribe community members, again, if you're around your laptop, if you're around your mobile phone, which you all should be, you'll always help promote our community members. If you're aligned with this product, here's the most recent tweet. Which is really nice. Yeah, Bruno, I'll add images in that feedback room here as well. That's a great question. Great question. Request. So here, guys, just hey, check out that tweet. Help distribute, share, and provide value to the community here as well. I think that's really exciting on how to help all of the village partners kind of grow. We're going to bring more of these people along for the ride. You're going to see more of these kind of exclusive like knowledge sessions around upcoming mints because we want you guys to be honestly front and center of what we think is of what's cool that is happening in Web3. If you've been here, we gave out the actual reward for this session about 25 minutes ago. So you've already been auto rolled. You should have something that is TWL first drop as a relic. If you have that, you are good to go. You should be able to claim that here too. So with that, we guys are going to wrap up. Our day is pretty much complete for the sessions today. There may be a spontaneous later today, and then we'll probably be throwing on a couple of events tomorrow. But we are playing a little bit of catch up, especially as we are in build mode and launch mode as well. We really not only have to get all of our partners in position, which is something we're working on. Ether's got a lot of stuff that's coming out over the next 4 to 6 weeks. We have, of course, the port keys from Tribe coming out this month in the next couple of weeks. And then alongside that, reactivation of Village, Village Market, reactivation of new Village partners, and more something is minting sessions happening here as well. Awesome. Thanks, Lemon Boy, for that event for tomorrow. We'll add it to this Discord calendar as well. I'll make sure Mirror does that as well. All right, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll chat soon. Thanks for all of you who've stuck around for almost 2.5 hours, which is kind of crazy. 300 plus of you have been doing that. Love you guys all. Appreciate your